In Indonesia, baby trafficking network has now been convicted of selling dozens of infants, some of whom were allegedly taken overseas before anyone could stop it. The criminals have been sentenced, but one heartbreaking question remains: where are the babies now? One of the most shocking findings was that many babies were allegedly destined for Singapore. Authorities have not publicly identified every family involved, and there is currently no evidence that all buyers knew the babies had been trafficked. Some may have believed they were participating in legal adoption procedures. Investigators are now working with Singaporean authorities to determine where the children are, who currently has custody, and whether any additional crimes were committed. Because the babies cross international borders, the investigation has become much more complicated. It is no longer just Indonesia's problem, it has become an international case. The big question is, although the traffickers have now been convicted, the court did not answer the question everyone wanted to know. What happens to the children? For babies still found in Indonesia, authorities will first try to identify their biological parents. If those families can safely care for the children, reunification may be considered. If not, the babies could enter Indonesia's child protection system while long term decisions are made. But for the babies already taken abroad, the situation is much more difficult. Some may now be living with families who have cared for them for months or even years. Removing a child from those families can also be emotionally traumatic. So, officials must balance two important questions: what is legally right, and what is in the child's best interest. Cases involving trafficked children are among the most difficult in the legal system. Every child's situation is different, DNA testing may be needed, birth records must be verified. International courts and child welfare agencies often become involved. Authorities also need to determine whether adoptive families knowingly participated in the trafficking or were themselves deceived by fake documents. Those answers could determine whether children remain where they are or are returned to Indonesia. Unfortunately, there is no quick solution. Some cases can take years to resolve. This case has highlighted a much larger issue. Baby trafficking often thrives where poverty, weak oversight, and demand for illegal adoptions come together. Experts say stronger birth registration systems, better support for vulnerable mothers, and tighter international cooperation are essential to prevent these crimes. While 19 people have now been convicted, justice is only part of the story. The real challenge is ensuring that every child grows up in a safe, loving home and that families are never again forced into situations where babies can be treated like commodities. The traffickers have been sentenced, but for dozens of children, the hardest chapter may only be beginning. Finding out who they are, where they truly belong to, and giving them the future they were denied at birth. Because in cases like this, a court verdict doesn't end the story. Sometimes it's only the beginning. If you found this explainer informative, subscribe for more international stories that go beyond the headlines. Thank you.